Are you looking for good NFL picks for Week 6? You have come to the perfect YouTube channel for that. I'm Professor MJ, a retired university statistics teacher turned into a full-time sports bettor and advisor. Last week, we picked up a 7-7 record with our picks against the spread. However, if you focus on picks graded A, we've racked up a 9-1 record across the past 3 weeks. Let's continue demolishing the bookies together. Each week, I also come up with what I call the NFL LOBSTER bet. This is the absolute best wager of the week. I began sharing this high confidence play last year in week 14, and since that date, we have accumulated 10 wins and 4 losses, a 71% success rate. For example, last week I took the Patriots plus 8.5 points in Buffalo. They ended up winning the game outright, so it was a clear winner. What is the LOBSTER bet for Week 6? Stay tuned, my friend. For now, let's get started with the early morning Sunday game. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, my friend. In London, the Broncos will take on the Jets. In this case, I am betting New York plus 7 points. The Broncos will be traveling for the 4th time in 5 weeks. In fact, they played at Indianapolis and Los Angeles, then returned home before playing in Philadelphia and now in London. The fatigue factor certainly favors the Jets here. We also have the revenge factor supporting this selection. Indeed, the Jets suffered a 10-9 loss to the Broncos last year in Week 4. In that game, New York dominated total yardage 248 to 186, but still lost the match. Bo Nix accumulated just 60 passing yards. The Jets are the only winless team in the NFL right now, but they are not that bad. They still have some talented players like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. Also, Justin Fields can be explosive. Denver's run defense is not invincible. They rank 13th in the league in terms of yards allowed per rush. This is how the Jets should try to attack them. It is also possible that the Broncos experience a bit of a letdown after their emotional victory on the road in Philadelphia. They could take the Jets lightly here. Also, let's face it, Denver's offense has not been firing on all cylinders. This unit has been quite inconsistent thus far. For these reasons, I feel like the 7-point spread is a bit large here, so I will back the Jets plus 7. Alert! Alert! This week's NFL LOBSTER bet concerns the Arizona-Indianapolis matchup. This is where I have found what I believe is the best wager across the board in Week 6. To gain exclusive access to this valuable play that can also come with a money-back guarantee if you wish, then just follow the link in the comments below. Let's move on to the Chargers-Dolphins game. I don't have a ton of confidence in this pick, but I will go with Miami plus 4.5 at home against the Chargers. The main reason why my confidence level is not very high is I find it hard to trust Mike McDaniel's team. Even during training camp, I kept hearing bad things about this organization, and things have not gone right so far in 2025. Still, there are many signs telling me to back the Dolphins. First, it's never easy for a West Coast team playing the early time slot on Sunday afternoon. That corresponds to a game being played at 10 a.m. body clock for them. Also, the Chargers have yet to put more than 27 points on the board in any of their first 5 games this season. So can you really expect them to win by a margin of 5 points or more on the road? Miami has a decent offense, so they will score some points as well. Tua Tagovailoa has been doing well recently. He tossed 3 TD passes last week, and he has obtained 9 touchdown passes versus 2 interceptions during his last 4 contests. The team lost Tyreek Hill, but tight end Darren Waller has looked in great shape so far with 3 TDs in 2 games. Last week, the Dolphins fell apart after taking a 17-0 lead in Carolina. That was an inexcusable loss. They will try to make it up in front of their home fans. I know Miami's defense is a mess. They cannot be trusted. But I mentioned how LA's offense has not been clicking that much, and now they are down to their 3rd string running back after losing Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton. And they are without their 2 most important offensive linemen, which has led to Justin Herbert being the most pressured QB in the NFL this season. The Patriots-Saints game could be more entertaining than projected. I am seeing a lot of fireworks in this game, so I am betting over 45.5. Both teams have an above-average run defense, but a very poor pass defense. As a general rule, a lot of passing tends to translate into more points, which explains the bet on the over. The Patriots and the Saints have given up the 5th and 8th highest passer rating to their opponents this year. Spencer Rattler finally picked up his first NFL victory after 10 straight defeats. It was well-deserved given how he's been improving in recent times. Did you know that Rattler's passer rating is similar to Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, and Justin Herbert this year? He is not as bad as the public perceives him right now. He will put some points on the board at home against the vulnerable Patriots pass defense. Meanwhile, Drake May has grown in year 2, and having Stephon Diggs as a receiver helps a lot, as we all saw on Sunday night in Buffalo. The Patriots are also likely to throw the ball quite often. Not only because New Orleans' pass defense is suspect, but because we have some question marks regarding New England's backfield. Antonio Gibson got hurt last week. Ramondre Stevenson fumbled the ball yet again. And rookie Trevion Henderson has not been super involved yet, mostly because the team does not trust him too much in pass protection. The team's ground game has struggled mightily this season anyway. Based on this information, why not go with the full game over in the Patriots-Saints contest? I'm taking the Steelers laying 5.5 points against the Browns. Earlier this week, this was potentially going to be my weekly lobster bet. But after doing some additional research, I elected to go with another bet instead. Still, the Steelers bet remains a wager receiving an A grade. The main reason why I was first excited about this selection was the huge scheduling advantage favoring Pittsburgh. They are coming off their bye week, whereas the Browns are returning from a long trip to London. To top it all off, Cleveland will be on the road for the 4th time in 5 weeks. This may be the biggest scheduling advantage of the entire year. Also, I like how Pittsburgh's defense has been steadily improving. After allowing 32 and 31 points in their first 2 contests, they have surrendered 14 and 21 points. In their last match, they welcomed back free safety Deshaun Elliott. And now, according to head coach Mike Tomlin, the arrow is pointing up when it comes to the return of linebacker Alex Highsmith and cornerback Joey Porter. We could very well observe the good old Pittsburgh defense that we are used to see. Watch out, Cleveland! However, I am worried about a few things. In general, the Steelers tend to be a good bet as underdogs, but it's hard to trust them as favorites given their inconsistent offense. Cleveland's defense is likely to cause some headaches to Aaron Rodgers and its offensive line. Also, Dylan Gabriel showed good things in his NFL debut. He completed 19 of 33 passes for 190 passing yards, 2 TDs and 0 pick. That being said, he went 5 for 13 to wide receivers. Most of the damage was done via checkdowns. His downfield throws were not so good. I'm pretty sure the Steelers will stack the line of scrimmage and will dare Gabriel to beat them with deeper passes. All in all, I still believe the best side is Pittsburgh here. The Browns are 2-0 against the spread at home, but 0-2 ATS on the road. They lost both of their road games by a margin of exactly 24 points. So I'm hoping for more of the same on Sunday. It's time for another play rated A. As stated in the introduction, those selections have produced a 9-1 record across the past 3 weeks. And by the way, if you wish to receive all of my premium picks graded A, either on American football only or from all sports, then go to mjpicks.com. This is the top place to go if you wish to grow your bankroll. In the Dallas-Carolina meeting, I am betting the Panthers plus 3.5 points. I am aware of the fact that the Cowboys' offense has been fantastic lately. But to me, this spread is too large given the awful Dallas defense. They are dead last in the NFL in terms of the opponent EPA. Also, Rico Dowdle will be facing his former team. Dallas let him go, so he will be extra motivated to make them pay. He was awesome last week as Chuba Hubbard's replacement with 206 rushing yards. It's also interesting to note that the Panthers are 2-0 at home this year. They have looked a lot better at Bank of America Stadium. Meanwhile, Dallas has had mitigated success away from home. Their offense did score 37 points against the Jets last week, but they had just put 20 points on the board in Philadelphia and 14 in Chicago. Playing without CeeDee Lamb and 2 or 3 offensive linemen may catch up to them. Carolina's defense is much stiffer than New York's. Indeed, the Panthers are 12th in the NFL in terms of yards allowed per game. They are a notch better. Moreover, the Cowboys will be on the road for the 3rd time in 4 weeks. That means more traveling and more fatigue. The Panthers will also be looking to avenge a 30-14 defeat at home last year against Dallas. In that game, Carolina turned the ball over 4 times. It will be payback time in a game that is likely to be much tighter than people think. I am siding with the Panthers plus 3.5. I really like the Seahawks to pull off the mild upset in Jacksonville this weekend. This may sound weird, but I was not super impressed by Jacksonville's upset win over the Chiefs. Kansas City still dominated total yardage, 476 to 319, but they were killed by 13 penalties compared to just 4 for the Jags. The Chiefs ran the ball well against Jacksonville with a 7.2 yards per carry average for a grand total of 158 rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes also threw the ball well with 318 passing yards. According to the metrics, Jacksonville's defense is doing a fine job. But prior to facing the Chiefs, they had played against Bryce Young, Jake Browning, CJ Stroud, and Mac Jones. Now they are about to face Sam Darnold, who owns the 3rd best passer rating right now. Seattle's run defense is among the league's best. They are 3rd in opponent EPA against the run. Last week, Tampa rushed 24 times against them and got just 56 yards, a tiny 2.3 average. The Seahawks will therefore stop the run and force Trevor Lawrence to beat them with his arm. He is unlikely to succeed. He has the 29th best passer rating. His poor performances have been masked by a good 4-1 record. Seattle's defense had an off day against the Bucs, but prior to that, they had not allowed more than 20 points to any of their first 4 opponents. It will be hard for the Jags to put more than 20 points on the board, while Seattle won't have trouble topping this total. Give me the Seahawks to win straight up. In the Rams-Ravens matchup, I will take the first half under. More specifically, I am betting under 22.5 points to be scored by halftime. We've all heard how Baltimore's defense has been incredibly horrific so far this season. They have given up 37 points or more in 4 of their 5 games. Also, Houston scored on all 8 possessions when CJ Stroud was under center last week. These defensive guys have some pride, so I could see a bounce-back effort in the first half. They could also get a few bodies back, which would certainly help. The team also acquired Alohi Gilman and CJ Gardner-Johnson to bolster their roster. Hopefully, that's going to give the defense a little boost. On the other side, can we expect some fireworks from Baltimore's offense? The answer is a resounding no. Lamar Jackson is very unlikely to suit up for this game. His backup, Cooper Rush, is a career journeyman who can only do some checkdowns. He is not a threat to NFL defenses, and that is particularly true of Houston's defense, which is very solid. They have given up the fewest points per game in the league, and they are third in terms of yards allowed per game. For all of these reasons, I think we will see a low-scoring affair in the first half. I was afraid that LA's offense would get going with an offensive explosion in the second half, so that's why I opted for the first half under instead. Backing the Titans never feels comfortable, but I will do it here. I'm taking Tennessee plus 5.5 points in Las Vegas. Can you really ask the Raiders to win by 6 points or more? They have been extremely bad in 3 of the game's 4 phases: passing offense, running offense, and passing defense. The only aspect where they have fared better is defending the run. But is that really enough to justify this spread? Also, I am hoping that Cam Ward will carry the momentum from last week's fourth quarter. In that quarter alone, he threw for 193 passing yards. Calvin Ridley finally showed a good connection with his rookie signal caller. And the team welcomed back Tyjae Spears in the backfield. He was slowly eased into action with just 4 carries, but he's likely to be more involved this week. Meanwhile, not much has gone right for the Raiders since their Week 1 win in New England. Since then, they have undergone 4 consecutive losses, including a crushing 40-6 defeat in Indianapolis. Geno Smith cannot be trusted. Is he done? He leads the NFL with 9 interceptions. Despite his big contract, I would not be surprised if we see Kenny Pickett thrown into action at some point this season. Brock Bowers is the team's most reliable target, but a knee injury is clearly slowing him down. That has affected the whole offense. He missed last week's game and his status is up in the air for Week 6. Based on the latest reports, it looks like he will be out again. To me, there will be a lot of pressure on the shoulders of the Raiders. They have got to beat the lowly Titans, or else the crowd will be quick to boo them. I could see this game turning into an ugly slugfest, so I will take the Titans plus 5.5 points, which means I expect them to either win the game outright or losing by a maximum of 5 points. Cincinnati acquired Joe Flacco following the abysmal performances displayed by Jake Browning. He simply could not repeat his success from 2023. You cannot throw 8 interceptions in 4 games if you want to keep your job in the NFL. The Packers are 14-point favorites, which is a big spread. I have decided to take the over, more precisely, over 44 points to be scored in that match. Flacco may give a spark to the team in the short term. He likes throwing the ball downfield, and that will make Jamar Chase and T. Higgins happy. And it could make us happy if he can connect on those long throws, which could also potentially draw pass interference calls. To me, it's not impossible that Flacco could thrive in this offense, which is why I am wary of taking Green Bay as large favorites. The Packers are coming off their bye. They will be refreshed. Their offense had no trouble moving the ball against a weak Dallas defense in Week 4. I don't expect any changes this weekend against an equally bad Cincinnati defense. Matt LaFleur also had extra time to game plan against this poor Bengals D. In short, I find it hard to believe that we're going to see a low-scoring affair here. Flacco also tends to turn the ball over a few times per game, which can lead to defensive scores or short fields for the offense. I like the over to hit in this game. The 49ers versus Bucs meeting should be exciting to watch. From a betting perspective, I'm taking San Francisco plus 3 points. Mac Jones displayed a heroic performance last week by playing on one leg with lots of missing players. I'm still shocked that the Niners were able to pull off the upset against the Rams. Now, is Mac Jones okay to play this week? He seems to be on track to be the starter because it sounds like Purdy is not ready yet. The good news out of San Francisco is that they are likely to get some bodies back on the field. More specifically, based on what I read, it looks like Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings will return, while George Kittle may not be ready yet. Kendrick Bourne stepped up big time against the Rams, catching 10 balls for 142 yards. Here is an astonishing stat. Did you know that the 49ers lead the NFL in passing yards despite playing a couple of QBs and often missing key pass catchers so far this year? That's an incredible accomplishment. I also like the fact that the Niners will benefit from 3 extra days of rest after playing last Thursday. Last year, they dominated total yardage in their meeting against the Bucs, 413 to 215. In that game, Baker Mayfield only obtained 116 passing yards. He could be looking for revenge, so that has me worried a little bit. Bucky Irving will remain out of the lineup for this contest. That's good news if you are betting the Niners because Bucky is a dangerous running back. Emeka Egbuka has been a very impressive rookie. He has hauled in 5 TD grabs while also averaging 89 receiving yards per game. He's taken full advantage of the absence of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in certain games. Speaking of Evans, I am hearing that he has a 50-50 shot of being active for this game. That brings further uncertainty about this game, which is why this bet did not get a great rating. Still, I like the Niners plus 3 points. Tampa's 4 victories occurred by a margin of 3, 1, 2, and 3 points, so they have yet to win a game by 4 points or more. I like our chances here. What a great Sunday night game we have on the menu. The surging Lions will travel to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. According to the betting lines, this is a toss-up game. I've decided to grab Kansas City's full game money line. After an ugly Week 1 loss, Detroit has bounced back with 4 solid performances, outscoring their opponent 161-85 in the process. In each case, they scored at least 34 points. That's impressive. Historically speaking, Jared Goff has proven to be less efficient when playing outdoors. Sure, he did well in Baltimore and Cincinnati this year, but we're talking about 2 of the worst NFL defenses. Steve Spagnuolo's unit is a lot fiercer. Detroit will also be on the road for the 3rd time in 4 weeks, which gives KC an edge in terms of rest. The Chiefs suffered a tough loss in Jacksonville last week. Now sitting on a 2-3 record, they will be desperate. They need this game a lot more than the Lions do. Kansas City dominated total yardage 476 to 319 against the Jags, but they were doomed by 13 penalties. Even their ground game got going with a 7.2 yards per carry average, thanks to good performances carrying the rock by Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Patrick Mahomes. Pacheco and Hunt finally ran with more confidence in Week 5. Detroit's defense could be in trouble. They are down their top 3 cornerbacks, including Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed, who will be out for a long period of time. Patrick Mahomes may not have too much trouble dissecting Detroit's pass defense. Let's roll with Casey's moneyline in the Sunday Nighter. Let's crush the bookies together with the Week 6 Lobster Bet. My goal is to have as many sports bettors from around the world beating their sportsbooks with this high-value play. All you need to do is following the link that I posted below as the top comment. The Lobster Bet was officially released on Wednesday morning to our early subscribers. So get this gold package now to make sure you get the same betting line as we did. I wish you a lucrative weekend and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video.